this point, hope is running low. There's still a chance. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of upsets. But most importantly, for EG, they are very much still alive in this race for 4th, in a race for that final spot. And as highlighted on the desk previously, PSG, a hot contender. EG, their destiny is in their hands, but that will all start to slip away if they lose this game. Anyway, I mentioned Shogun earlier, and it seems like EG also happened to notice that Shogun might be a bit of a solid player. So Kalista, Tristana, Lucian, all 3 of those are going to hit the bench.
Yeah, and I'm curious what else we're going to see hit that, because it just feels like, you know, let's get Shogun off of anything that he's been comfortable on ever. So, I mean, we've seen him bring out the funky picks like the Vladimir already, and he's even gone towards picks like the Ashe as well. So not going to be hurt from his champion pool perspective, but definitely getting rid of these aggressive AD carries that he can look for the 2v2 kills on.
Yeah, I wonder what the first pick is going to be here from the side of EG. Senna, a champion that's been highlighted. Wukong, what am I talking about? I forgot about Wukong. Wukong first pick, yes. Now could be paired potentially with a Senna, or just a Senna picked up generally. We've talked in the past about how strong Danny has been on that champion, even if it's not, you know, a flashy carry champion like we got used to in the playoffs.
I think probably looking at something like Jungle Answer here is probably going to be your best bet. And I imagine that we're probably going to go towards the mid lane as well. The big question though is like, what do you want to go for? The LeBlanc gone, the Ahri gone, maybe be something like a TF where you get this Nocturne Twisted Fate combo that can always work out. But we're actually just going to go back towards the Blind Ezreal, which means I think we know what Danny is going to go for.
He's got choices. I'm never counting out a Senna Wukong bottom lane because I just, again, weird. This is my MO. That said, yeah, Kai'Sa feels like an easy, quick pickup here. I would be surprised not to see it. It's also not bad in Nocturne. Nocturne leaps on you and doesn't immediately one-shot you. You just get a huge shield.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's already hovered there as well, right? And I feel like if you're going to end up going towards like what has been the traditional JoJo Pyun mid laners, it's like the Rises, the TFs now to actually try and maybe steal it away from the combo that Froggy and BJ can go towards. But whoa, actually just going to go straight for the Ornn in the top lane.
Yeah, we knew when the Gwen ban came out that probably EG had something up their sleeves for top lane. Ornn, very stock standard, very reliable champion. You've now got Wukong Ornn. You have the makings of a fantastic team fight. This could be a Trundle support now coming through. Trundle somewhere is what I will commit to. Trundle somewhere could come through.
Top Trundle? You just steal all the Ornn and then you just literally ram your way through the towers, but no. Okay, I was kind of ready for that. I was like, all right, I'm ready for a bit of that spice, but we're going to go back towards the Kennen. So at least kind of going, hey, look, EG at the moment playing a very short-range composition with the Wukong and the Kai'Sa. So Hasman going to see if he can have some fun on the Kennen in ruining that short range.
Certainly. Of course, we'll probably expect to see the full-on AP build coming in from Kennen. Absolutely. Skip over the stopwatch, just full AP. We've gotten used to it in the past. We did see the more laning-focused build come out from Zeus, ultimately not really working out, as it costs you a lot to go for that one. We'll see, though, what the choice will be from Hazmet as we enter the second ban phase, taking away some of the big engage options. Karma, again, going to hit the bench alongside Rakan and the Nautilus.
Yeah, also just things that can do pretty well against the Ezreal as well, right? Like the point-and-click CC with the Nautilus, the ability to charm up the Ezreal, means that you're actually able to play with the freedom that this Ezreal offers you. But I still think, you know, the blind Ezreal, we see Kai'Sa come out to it so often, it's going to be in a pretty good spot. As it's always banned away, Leona is locked in, and now we'll have to see what Vulcan wants to go for in this bottom lane.
Be interesting. With Leona now locked in, you don't have to worry about a Braum that could interrupt any potential dive threats or limit the impact of the Ornn. Could go for a Braum yourself, as Leona does like to go in. Nocturne likes to go in. I like the pick a lot in certain circumstances, but it usually either feels super overpowered in the case of going against something like Diana Yasuo, as we saw in some of the previous games, or it feels pretty underwhelming. It's kind of a champion of extremes, and instead, we'll see Sylas locked in as a mid lane champion. Maybe.
I mean, look, some of the Korean supports have been playing a little bit of Sylas support, but I don't think we're going to get it here. I think the best bet is probably going back towards something like the Alistar here. I actually really like the Braum. I think the Braum can work well in just like dissuading the follow-up engages whenever Nocturne goes in, like interrupt Leona, Kennens, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Alistar works perfectly as well. Just a good follow-up engage, and my god, EG just have one button that it just says go.
And I love it. And frankly, the Alistar is so great to me because we saw, starting pretty much since Worlds last year, Kennen stay away from Hourglass, instead focusing on full AP, because ultimately if you just kill everyone, it's fine. But the strength of Hourglass is that you could stop Alistar from headbutting you out of a fight. And it feels like Alistar in this game, on his own, as long as he knows where the Kennen is, will always have a way to push him out or force stopwatch itemization, which already mitigates a lot of that impact.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the Veigar lock in here, though. I was kind of expecting to probably go towards some sort of global champion, which is why I believe Jojo Pyun was like, hey, I'm going to preemptively take the Sylas. But now Froggy kind of going, okay, well, I'm going to look to try and be a bit more of that zone control, try and dissuade the engage that EG are going for. And when you've got a composition like EG that does want to try and get in on top of you, you can actually get a lot of success here with the Veigar being able to separate at the fight, the Kennen as well, buy space for Shogun, and kind of let this Ezreal be your mainstay carry.
Certainly. One team, they want to go in. That's all they want to do because they don't function at any range past melee or like 500, 525, or 500, yeah, okay, so. And opposite side, Saigon Buffalo. Look, they want to keep you as far away as humanly possible. Ezreal, Veigar, they want to sit on the back line. Maybe Kennen will counter-engage, maybe he'll full-on engage, but it's a pretty simple, clear-cut compositional story. Fist fight versus no, sir. I am not interested in that confrontation.
Yeah, you've got the chess boxing going on, right? One is primed for actually punching you in the face. The other one's kind of like, hey, we can set up these nice little circle compositions right around here. Make sure you can't get in. So, but yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see because I honestly thought we'd nearly have it flipped, you know, from the way these two teams play.
This is the least regional thing we could have expected. We thought, you know, more control, and not to be fair, not like EG are afraid to get super duper scrappy, but they've also, you know, when we saw in the playoffs, much more willing to scale, build compositions around that. Saigon Buffalo, we expect all-out aggression all the time. You know, not that the VCS can't mix it up. Yeah. Again, mixing it up what we like to see, but definitely the thing that we've gotten used to over the years.
I don't know. I mean, I see Veigar and I see Ezreal, and it just screams all-out aggression to me. You know? But I definitely think the best plan here is for BJ, just farm the crap out of all of his camps, get to level 6, and then maybe see if you can make some funky business happen up towards Hasman in the top lane. Because again, I think if Kennen does get ahead and you are going this like full glass cannon build, you can do so much damage and really just turn these fights back around for Saigon Buffalo.
Yeah, if you don't, Sylas is taking a Kennen ult, and that's also a very, very scary thing if the Sylas is hitting harder than you. Really interested to see what happens. Again, when we talk about we heard it on the desk that Jojo Pyun is a guy who has stepped up a lot over the games. Now, if we looked at this team coming into this stage 4-4, obviously smashing order, losing a lot to G2, you would expect Impact and Inspired, as you're seeing a bit of aggressive trading here on the top side, to be the guys that you focus on. And you can see why, as they're already building a little lead for themselves. This is what we talked about, the level 1s. Just kidding. This is new. But Jojo is the guy who's been stepping up a lot, and I think a player that we're going to have to watch in the context of this matchup versus Froggy, because if he does super well, if he gets out of lane, this champion could take over a game, but it's going to be so hard against a champion like the Veigar. Yeah, exactly. And like you're going to get push here for Froggy in the early stages, and Jojo Pyun is going to have his work cut out for him to try and make sure that he's going to be in a good spot to counteract that. But I think the fact you have Impact already with a good health lead in that top side makes things a little bit easier, opens up for Inspired to try and at least have some help from Impact, because if Impact can actually get control of the wave just because the health advantage he has, well then maybe he can actually go for a cheeky gank in towards the mid lane. We've seen it from Impact in the past. Certainly. And that setup CC, so nice for the Wukong to have early on. It's a similar story across every single lane. There is good setup. Love the confident dash forward there. You don't have to hit the knockup. People forget that. It does the same damage whether you get the knockup or not. So just leap face first into the Kennen. Push that health advantage in the lane phase. Of course, Cole, if the lane goes long enough, will heal him back up. But when it comes to the all-in right now, Kennen out of pots. And dire straight here is Jojo Pyun now stepping forward into Froggy. Goes a little wide on the stun. Froggy now laying down the cage, but he's just got some autos. So it's not too threatening quite yet. Now, long cooldown on both the E and the W there for Jojo Pyun, so not able to actually follow up on that. But it does mean at least Jojo Pyun stacking a bit of this wave, opening up for Inspired to do some funny business. And gonna see if you can wrap around, because BJ hasn't done his red, and you may actually get help from the EG mid laner here. Inspired could go for the cheeky steal. Nocturne is just a gigantic ball of stats. So if Wukong gets feared, this is going to be a very tough one. But with the Q down, maybe there's a small window of opportunity here. Waiting to stealth to the last possible second. Won't even stealth. Leaps in, gets it, takes away the red buff. Now BJ is going to be in trouble. Spell shield already used. He's running. Can he get there in time? Inspired just going to back away, but solid steal coming in, taking that one away. And suddenly Froggy has to be careful here because there's a Wukong in his jungle and he does not know where he is. Yeah, I mean, this is just really well played from EG. Working off the lane pro. Now Vulcan's here. Inspired spotted. Flash headbutt pull. Going forward, not even going to flash for it, just going to go in normally. Froggy's now flashing out, looking for the finish, looking for the follow-up. The red buff not taking quite enough. BJ now backing away. Nobody's going to drop quite yet. Jojo Pyun lucky to have a wave there. Well placed to make sure that he can just walk out. No, Vulcan didn't want to go underneath the tower. Could have followed the flash with his own, but having the exhaust means you don't have the ignite, which makes things a little bit trickier, but just going to be able to walk away. Jojo Pyun did get the crash the wave, though, so you can see that massive CS lead and the experience advantage for the EG mid laner. And that's big. Because even if ultimately it's going to be hard to solo kill the Veigar as we move forward into the game, once his wave clear really comes online, you can start to make that impact felt in the jungle. BJ already a little bit behind, trying to steal some camps back, while his Veigar pushes out. But Vulcan's already on the way. Jojopian's already on the way. They are not interested in giving this objective up. They are ready to fist fight for this red buff. BJ, impossible to spell shield the combo. There's 2 spells. Now BJ's going to be in trouble with the exhaust. Now taking BJ going to be forced out. No, sticking in the area for now. Red buff has reset now. Inspired on the way out, has turned invisible. Danny now moving up. If they get a kill onto this Kai'Sa early, it's going to be big. Baby Cage stops any further aggression, but the red buff has been secured, Dagda. Mission accomplished for EG.
Yeah, I mean, look, EG managed to get the red buff. They also get low health bars on the Saigon Buffalo bot lane. So actually look at Danny and Vulcan here, right? They get to push in that wave. They're going to be able to reset and get a nice little bit of shopping done for themselves as well. So you're kind of getting those advantages on the bot side thanks to the low health bars in Saigon.
Certainly. I mean, no heal. Got Flash Cleanse still up on Danny, so easy to force a fight if they want to. Yes, Vulcan does not have an exhaust anymore, but still has a Flash. They can still make these big plays. Inspired waiting over the wall. Looks like they are going to go for the back cancel, but it was all a bait. The Baby Cage, it'll stop them, but not enough. The Flash comes out from Inspired to finish the job. First blood for the Wukong.
Nicely done by Inspired with Jojopian, especially, I mean, you see him on the ward, right? You know that the play is there, but Froggy just not giving it its due respect. And now Taki here just with BJ to try and hold this wave and give some of that experience back over to the Saigon Buffalo mid laner.
Ooh, but it feels bad.
Yeah.
Good news is Ezreal on the bot side still catching a wave. Won't cost them too much yet. Level 6 is getting closer, though, and this is where we get into Ornn solo kill territory when he's got the Summoner Spellbook. He can just pop an Ignite on and ulti that cannon. Osmond, again, no pots. Will slowly heal up because of the coal, but still very far away from cashing in on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big issue for Hasman is going to be when he takes like bad trades like this, right? Nice job resetting, because honestly, I think Jojopian going to come back mid, shove in that wave, hit 6, and then instantly start to roam up towards this top side as well. With the wave under control for impact and level 6, you're in such dangerous territory, especially when Inspired on the top side here.
Yep. Impact uses full combo here, knowing he can just push this wave out. Hosman now forced to stay. Impact gets it back. Can probably just walk back to lane for free as well. So, solid performance so far. No major CS advantage for either side, but definitely is not suffering in the lane phase whatsoever. And level 6s is what I'm waiting for, Dagda. We're going to be a far way away, however, because Vulcan's level 3. The man has been roaming a lot, which is potentially a point of weakness. It is not Aftershock Alistair, it is Phase Rush. And ooh, this is cheeky. We wanted it to get a little wild. We wanted it to get a little crazy. Froggy's not ready for this one. He's going to get locked up. Knockdown comes, and he's in the middle of the cage. That's not where you want to be. You're stuck in there with him, Froggy. You're stuck in there with Jojo. Now stepping in, though. BJ looking to turn this one back. Maybe he can knock him out. No, stun now coming in. That's going to be the Silas W. Massive healing. BJ desperate to finish the kill. He's going to get one back in exchange. Will they finish the Nocturne? Yes. It's just a matter of
creep block.
The creeps?
Oh! Betray block!
What?
The creep block!
Oh, give him the dog emo, BJ! Oh! Execute to the tower?
Is
it gonna work? Oh my god!
That creep!
Oh my god! You can, doesn't matter who you're a fan of, you're gonna boo song go wild. That was wow. Creeps MVP.
Yeah. BJ work with the map better. You know, outplay completely. He calculated that if he moved there out of the creep, you know, and then walk towards him, he'd creep grabber and then be able to. I'm just fumbling here, but no.
No, yeah, please break it down. I would say it might have been Boots too. You could say Matt.
True.
That's also fine. Engage on the bottom side. Vulcan talking now locked up under tower. That's going to be big. Danny, again, had the cleanse for that exchange, had the flash. So Taki just overstaying his welcome there in that engage. His Ignite came back up, and I guess he wanted to kick a fight off.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the best option, though. You know, going straight underneath the tower when it's there. It's like starting a fight in a nightclub when the bouncer's like over your shoulder. It's not really going to work out too well, and Taki gets sent to packet.
Yeah. Casual, classic mistake. Taki, you know, thought he could take the bouncer on too. No, you can't.
No, you never can.
You never can. It's a bad call. Impact continuing to push in on the top side, and this man, again, playing on the mid lane solid. That said, Saigon Buffalo responding with a play of their own, make sure that it's not a disastrous moment for them. But Froggy struggling in lane, just doing his best to farm up, just doing his best to take time, and Impact and Inspired already moving into the enemy jungle, just taking over more and more of the map. BJ got away before. Round 2. Is he going to get in? Doesn't want to risk face checking a level 6 Wukong, and I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, had a feeling the Vulcan was in the area. Hex flashes over the wall. Are we going
Vulcan
for it here? Nah. I mean, you know it's getting funky in the mid lane. Oh, hang on. Shogun.
Danny. The Qs are big. Shogun hitting 2 is ooh, sidestep. Yep, Danny can't continue to just go for that one anymore. Vulcan, Hex Flash enthusiast, it's safe to say. Froggy has to be careful here, but here comes the Nocturnal. They're going to try to lock down the level 5 Alistair. He's so incredibly squishy. They see their opportunity, they take it, but now they're getting fired back on. Silas and instantly steals the Leona ult, and now they're coming in. Impact's going to make it to this fight first, but who is going to make it out? BJ not escaping this time. Taki now leaving, but I
Get
feel
to the
like
minions,
Impact.
Taki! Get to the minions!
They'll save you, the Wolves! Oh! Unironically, the Wolves.
Wait. No.
No!
No way.
Yes!
Wait!
What?
What?
See,
Okay.
Cannon's pushing
No.
in the wave. He gonna escape. He's.
Get to the minions!
They can't
Get to
keep
the
getting
minions!
away with the Dagda. Taki's great escape. No,
Oh,
Taki
no.
bad. Back to your Kennen. No, he's gone. Yeah, it's a phase rush, Alistair. It's just who gets the kill at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Vulcan. Vulcan gets the kill. There you go, Vulcan.
Yeah. I mean, look, he was trying to mind game it, didn't know where Impact was. I thought if he got to the top side, Hasbin had to push, maybe that could have saved him, but no, couldn't quite get out. It was very close, though.
Yeah. You wonder. One thing
Yeah.
slightly different.
I know.
But ultimately, I feel like EG just need to like invest in defensive resources on that side of the map. As a meme entirely, because but people keep escaping into that part of the jungle. Like clearly, like the towers
Set
need
up
to be
defen-
adjusted
Yeah. How
to
much is
cover
a
that
fence?
entrance.
How much is a fence in League of Legends?
It's hard, you know, difficult to say.
I gotta say though, like for Saigon, this isn't actually going terribly, right? I
No.
mean, yes, they are behind in kills, but you look at the gold, they got advantages in the bot side of the map for them. Although the mid lane has been a bit of a fiesta.
Danny now
Oh,
in
wait a
trouble.
second.
Danny should go down. No magic escape this time around. Froggy to take that one, get a little bit of extra AP. Vulcan now coming back to the top side though. Can't just knock Hosmid down. Gonna go for the knock up first. Goove around him. Phase rush now. Proc T runs in. It's a wombo combo. It's all the CC you can ask for. Hosmid, no ult for any fight to come. Gonna get finished off. Will not escape from that one. So traded back and forth on both sides.
Yeah, that's a bit of a lose-lose, unfortunately, for Hasmid. You either try and like walk through the cow, which is never going to go well for you, or you got to try and burn the flash early, and you just get comboed down. So,
Well, Dagda, since there's a Nocturne, I'm actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it normal. I'm not going to make a
Okay.
weird reference. Guys, here's the thing. There's a lot of things that you could forget in this game, like the cleanse on Kai'Sa. Taki did that once. But it's important to remember that you can get your Scare Prize emote. They took down the thing. You can't see it. Don't forget to grab your exclusive Scare Prize Prime gaming emote so you can strut when you flash in and turn a fight. There it is, Scare Prize.
I was terrified, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should, as you should be. You know what's really terrifying is someone getting away on like 3 HP and then dying to the tower and no one getting the gold, Dagda. That was a Scare Prize for me. I thought for sure Bija was dead. We'll see then. Oh, this is going to be tough for Shogun. Hard to get out of this one. Yeah, that's a phase rush, Alistair. You cannot escape the cow. You can escape the cow. Vulcan, rough pulverized there. Not going to find the knockup. They're going to pull back.
Yeah, all you need is, you know, flash, arcane shift, heal,
Yeah.
everything to get out of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, realistically, Vulcan's been doing a great job roaming around the map, now getting some more pressure on this bot side. But I do start to wonder, you know, what are we going to see as these objectives start to come through? Because we do have the Rift Herald already picked up for Inspired. You assume that that gold is going to try and go in towards Jojo Pyun or down in towards Danny. And you already have Dragons being started up for Saigon Buffalo as well. You know they're going to want to try and start up. That's a little bit late for the Mastercard Mythic, but
There it is.
yeah.
That was their mythic, which is fair. It's Rocket Belt. They're going to be very important in the fights to come. I want to see how these 5v5s play out. Again, the goal for EG, pile in. Get a lot of guys in there, start pushing your R buttons, make some stuff happen. Froggy checked a bush, but not the bush that Jojo Pyun was in. We'll spot them on the retreat here. Taki now going to be in trouble. Has flash. Sticking around. Flirting with disaster. Ooh, Ward. Spotting Inspired. Means they know the play is coming. Well, they've already cleared out. Danny going to be forced away if Saigon Buffalo want to go in. Maybe now is the time because Nocturne is on the way and things are about to get dark and scary. Here comes BJ with a little lone scare prize. Now locked up. Jojo Pyun, no way, starting to go. The baby cage is right there, shut down, and that is the power of the Veigar. So hard to maneuver in these fights. The short-range champions. Danny now running. Inspired coming in as well. Second stack of the ultimate about to fade away. He's going to use it just to escape on the movement speed. Danny flashing out early just to make sure that nothing else comes through. And Saigon Buffalo taking advantage in that fight.
Yeah, Hasmid even roamed down as well, knowing he didn't have the TP, just to make sure that they could have the numbers advantages for Saigon Buffalo. And it's a nice little pick-off for them, just punishing EG, overextending in towards their jungle and cutting off any sort of escape.
Yeah, and remember, for Saigon Buffalo, it looks like dire straits when it comes to making it into top 4. But for EG, hope is very much alive. It's a neck-and-neck race with the PCS right now, with PSG Talon. That will all fade away if they lose a game here. For now, though, moving in onto Shogun. Taki in the area. They've got the man advantage. Shogun, no real way out of this one, just trying to finish off Danny, but will not get the chance to do so. Meanwhile, on the top side, Impact trying to come in clutch. Summoner Spellbook doesn't look like he has any summoners. Other summoners up and available, but both these champions with their ultis down. Impact with the health advantage. If he can push this wave and he can get something done. Can't see the minimap, so not sure who else is in the area, but for now it's Herald on the bottom side in favor of EG. Hosmed forced to back away, but here comes JoJo. Quick kill pickup, quick Herald crash on the bottom side. EG, just like that, even up the gold.
Yeah, nice little passage of play from EG. They get the pick bot, they get the turret plates onto Danny, and even JoJo moving up to get that kills. And you're not really getting a response here from Saigon Buffalo, right? You still got BJ trying to farm it up, not really in a position to try and answer for a lot of this. Is
Taki?
Maybe, no flash.
Supportal combat, he has the flash. Here comes the Nocturne. Yeah, that can't. Nope. No outplaying that one. Well played by Beanjuk. Excellent. Excellent Ezreal to come in. Taki moving forward just to make sure he can't recall, and Beanjuk comes in to finish the job.
Yeah, so nice little pick, and unfortunately Danny now with 3 deaths that were a little bit messy coming through. And now you got the push coming through for Saigon Buffalo on this bot end as well, as actually a lot of members from EG starting to rotate down. They really want to try and fight for this dragon in 20 seconds, but you don't have an AD carry.
Sure. Will he be up in time? 2 seconds, moving down. BJ definitely overstaying. And again, Spell Shield great for everything but Alistar combo. Is just going to walk along with him, knock him back into the team. Hosmed on the way down, but there is no play to be made here. Big shutdown onto the Nocturne, going over to Joju, already the strongest member of the team and the strongest member in this game for gold from what we saw earlier, ticking over to level 11 too. So Saigon Buffalo, if they want to keep playing out these fights, they need to take out JoJo fast and early.
Yeah, I mean, JoJo's just been doing such a good job of getting these last few hits onto picks and side lanes, right? And unfortunately there, BJ, as he said, sticking around that bit too long, begins to get dragging towards EG. Yes, Froggy will get the tower top, which is nice to get some gold back in favor of this Veigar, but EG still just finding these moments to pick off Saigon Buffalo is a bit worrisome.
Certainly. See, though, we haven't really had these big fights, I think, as we were expecting. We've had a lot of skirmishes, and we've had a lot of, like, 3 people running at 1 person, Dagda. There's just been a lot of, a lot of people have been getting jumped in this game, Dagda, I think it's safe to say. No one getting the honorable 3v3, 4v4. See how that changes as we go further. Ezreal completing the first item. Kaisa just finishing the first, working towards the second. I like the Trinity Force. Always a sign of confidence from Ezreal's when they go with that as opposed to the Divine Sunderer.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we've had some very slow burners here today for ourselves. I thought that at last we get EG versus Saigon kind of going like, all right, we got the Buffaloes in here. I'm ready for the flash level 1, go for the kills. But as you say, it hasn't exactly been like full-on 5v5s, but we'll have to see if maybe we get it here for the Rift Herald as Saigon Buffalo start to move up. Hosmed has TP, but you've only got Shogun just coming out of base now.
EG priority access, getting the vision control down. Froggy trying to get mid control, but can't push too far. You see Taki moving in just to clear out as much vision as he can, taking his time to step forward there and clear out the control ward until he knows that no one is in the area. Full on 5v5, we're looking at things like the Kennen ultimate. See what he can do for Hosmed. Froggy as well, very strong. He can protect the backline incredibly easily. Shogun, the other big focus point. Ooh, Cage comes down. Once this cooldown is gone, it's going to be easy opportunity for EG to force a fight, and there it is. Darkness now coming out, not quite sure where to aim it. Impact, a blinded man, just takes a chance, but EG happy to just walk away here. Saigon Buffalo trying to take control of the mid lane, but EG already got the prize they wanted.
Yeah, and you have multiple members of EG here, so should be able to happily clear out this wave. Saigon trying to zone them off, but shouldn't get the Terra here.
Ooh, might just try to brute force it. This is some raw determination. JoJo stepping forward. The team is split. They have to be careful not to just get collapsed on here.
Yeah, I saw Vulcan on the flank. I wasn't sure how aggressive that you wanted to go, but with EG, the Impact backing and Danny not really having the wave clear you're hoping for, unable to approach the wave. Saigon Buffalo do get the Terror, so nicely done at least for the moment. And I mean, a 2,000 gold lead still for Saigon Buffalo. You haven't really got much of, in a way, of advantage of objectives, so it still feels like we're waiting for that one big fight to kind of blow this game open in either way.
Certainly, and I feel like it's an interesting game because a lot of what EG want to do is mitigated by the Veigar. But when we look at like relative scaling of junglers, Nocturne ult is always going to feel good if you're super far ahead. But in an even game, no doubt in my mind, Wukong just outvalues. There's a reason that Wukong is such a high priority pick. So a lot of this is just going to be on Saigon Buffalo's positioning around objectives, how they use that cage. Because Jojapun is still a massive threat. It's just so hard for him to do anything. against a Veigar on the opposite side.
Yeah, I feel like the best option for Jojo Pyun here is like try and play side lane a little bit, right? If you can actually like answer for Hazmid, you got a good amount of kill pressure, especially with the Zhonya's Era class now complete as well. You can like bypass a lot of Hazmid's initial damage. You can even steal away the ultimate for yourself, and it means that Froggy isn't really in a position to try and match you. So then you can have Impact actually join in with the team, and if Jojo Pyun can get control of a side lane, group quickly with the other 4 members of EG, Impact goes to the engage. That's how you can very quickly catch members of Saigon Buffalo out of position.
Danny's still farming up, and I think it's a good idea. It's a good concept. We can see EG now grouping up, trying to find a man advantage in some situation. Again, Froggy misuses the cage one time or is caught unaware. He will drop incredibly quickly. Part of the reason why you see that stopwatch come out from him, just to make sure that he has one get out of jail free card. Spinja inspired, fighting for control of this area. Taki very deep in enemy territory, though. Saigon Buffalo feeling pretty confident on this one. Stealing away the Nocturne all this big, though. Taki, if he gets spotted here, could just get leaped on, or left on in an instant, rather. TP now coming in. It's going to be a full-on fight. It's a brawl in the midst of everything. Jojo P perfectly in the middle of the cage. There goes the Kennen ultimate. Big damage coming down, or not. Perfectly timed stopwatch to make sure that he doesn't take too much on the backside. That said, still more than enough to finish the job in the long run. Impact caught in the cage. Froggy taking his time. It's going to take a long time to burn down Impact, but the same will not be said about Shogun as he falls. BJ also falling on the backside, inspired stronger in the 1v1. Overall, it's a messy fight, but EG, 4 members standing strong as Froggy and Hazmet are on the retreat. Oh, the sad Zoe. The absolute BM. Veigar, no more cage to keep him safe. Big shutdown to the side of Impact. EG monster that fight.
Yeah, great timing on the TP from Impact. Just gets in before the vision goes dark. That means he's actually there for that fight. And now with so much money going into the hands of EG, they should be able to set themselves up nicely. But you'll see it here, right? Impact TP's the wave right before the vision starts to disappear from everyone. And now, as you get to move in, great engage from Vulcan as well to stop the follow-up, buy space for Wukong on the backside, buying time for Jojo as well. And eventually Danny's able to show up. He takes care of Shogun on the top side alongside Vulcan, and Inspired is just keeping BJ separated from the team, even manages to pick him off with the kill as well. And it means that EG just corral Saigon Buffalo into their last breath.
Oh. And really well played by Inspired in the 1v1, recognizing that there's no mana on the Nocturne, using the healing coming in from the Divine Sunderer just to win out on that despite a blinking health bar at the start. And obviously the cleanup to be expected in the final moments. That's just the power of the man advantage.
Yeah, and that feels like the fight that we were kind of waiting on, right? To actually get the big... I didn't hear what he said.
Something about flash on something.
Yeah. But yeah, getting the big team fight now kind of feels like you've got control of the game. Second Dragon going your way as well. Now you get to start to push in as this unit. And again, I think your best bet is to have Jojo Pyun kind of off towards the side, but he is grouped here with the rest of the team to make sure they can use that Rift Herald and get that mid lane turret.
And the thing is again, I don't want to overvalue the importance of the cage, but the cage is probably the most important ability to track in these fights, because it is easy for EG to re-engage if Froggy ever makes a mistake, because Wukong stealth leap in, you've got the Ornal, which allows him to engage from such ludicrous range. The second that cage is down, easy for EG to force a secondary engage to try to force again. That said, does get harder as Kennen gets stronger, but Hazmet not getting a chance to play in this fight, is getting isolated. The cage comes down. Ornal has already been used, but Jojo Pyun, not sure if he saw that one, but can just try to force a fight in the next few seconds before that cooldown's back up.
Yeah, really nice pick for EG. They're posturing from the Baron, but I don't think you want to do this. 3 ultimates burned on the side of EG, and I mean, yes, you're missing Hazmid, but I still think there's enough damage from Saigon Buffalo, enough poke that, yeah, they're just going to back away here. So just a nice pick from EG, and able to get some vision established in there.
Yeah, solid look. Not quite enough of an advantage to take the Baron quite yet, but Kaisa obviously going to shred through that objective, especially gets closer and closer to 3 items. It was a difficult early game for Danny, but he's definitely been doing a solid job in these fights. And Vulcan, of course, the second he gets past level 6, a very tanky boy. Not exposed to nearly as much risk as he was in for those first few engages.
Yeah, I like the maul picked up by Inspired as well, because you know that there's going to be a ton of damage coming in from Hazmid, from Froggy as well, and having that tankiness is going to be so valuable to Inspired. And the fact he has 6 kills as well, you could always look at something like a Force of Nature or something along those lines, but you're just going to try and be a big carry here with the Wukong.
Oh, Vulcan is going to go for it. Inspired can just instantly come over the wall, BJ. There's really no way out of this one. You can turn the lights off, but it will not stop you from going back to the fountain. Jungler picked off. EG multiple members on the bottom side. Counterplay from Saigon Buffalo looks like pushing down the mid lane.
There's a nice opportunity from EG though, right? They had push in mid. They're able to move across over to the bot side and make sure that they're all set up nicely there. And again, now they can start to get side lane control. push in, get more vision on this top side of the map as well. Although it looks like with 2.5 minutes until the third Dragon for EG, they may be more focused on just getting that vision control on the bot side and having the next big fight against Saigon Buffalo.
And very back and forth game, as you can see highlighted by the gold difference. But EG, in the last few skirmishes, have just felt like they've been so confident in execution, been pulling ahead now. Gold lead is not insurmountable by any means, about 2,500, but still EG in total control.
And especially for EG, this is a big win, right? Like PSG Talon having that monstrous win over G2 earlier today,
Certainly.
Definitely going to light a fire under our evil geniuses. So the fact that they're, getting these much-needed wins against Saigon Buffalo. Now, I know Saigon Buffalo, obviously 0-5, haven't had the best of times, but you can never really count out this team. They're just so aggressive at times.
Certainly. The story of the BCS. A lot of people have doubted BCS in the past. It has not always worked out well. Knockup coming in, though. Getting the cannon out of the fight before he can use the ultimate is brutal. EG, free access to the bottom side of the map. There's not even a recourse Baron here for Saigon Buffalo to try to start up. So, EG having their cake, eating it too, really getting everything that they could want, and Hazmet cannot afford to get caught. If there's not a cannon ultimate in these fights, Saigon Buffalo don't really have any way to re-engage a fight on the back of a good pick.
Yeah, Saigon are trying to establish vision in turn for the tier 2 on bot side. Impact is going to actually just keep pushing the bot lane though, so at least they're looking for the picks, trying to see if maybe they can trade it with Shogun acting as bait.
Talking in the brush, Bija just going to try to steal away some camps, it looks like. We'll probably get spotted by this control ward though, which will be a clear indicator to Danny Inspired that they can move in for a bit more vision. Shogun already marked, no mana either. That's going to be big. They know the Ezreal really cannot stick around for a fight. He's going to be forced to recall. Inspired now hunting, moving in. EG going to get full control of the Baron Pit. I wonder if they're going to feel confident enough to start it. Remember, Kenneth didn't ult, so it will still be up for this fight. They do want to fully commit.
Yeah, I think EG were able to just lazily walk over here because they're like, look, if Shogun's showing on the wave, well, they don't really have the damage right now from the rest of Saigon Buffalo to take the Baron by themselves. And they know there's 35 seconds until the Dragon, so you've already got vision control on the Dragon area. Just reset, look to play around that vision that you've already established, and it means that Saigon Buffalo have to try and make some sort of miracle play, but you're like, this isn't a composition that can just very quickly take the Baron without EG being at least somewhat aware.
Definitely is something that we have to look at for is how quickly they can take it if they ever get in that position. But I think at this stage, Dagda, it's just so difficult because we expected with a Nocturne for Saigon Buffalo really to be the team forcing these picks and finding these picks. And they certainly did in the earlier stages of the game, but EG have been the ones constantly finding these avenues into enemy territory, finding this vision, taking away some of this vision in the cases we see Vulcan now, and finding picks of their own, stopping Saigon Buffalo from making any plays. And now they're going to get this Dragon completely and totally uncontested, moving up to Mountain Soul Point. And let me tell you, for Kennen, for Nocturne who want to dive in, Mountain Soul, that is a nightmare to deal with.
I mean, even for an Ezreal trying to get through an Orin, right? Like, how do you ever try and get through this front line as Saigon Buffalo's starting to step forward, but I don't know if they want to be here necessarily.
Osman off to the side. Kennen ulti, again, the big cooldown to keep your eye on alongside the cage coming in from Froggy. Stolen Smite for Froggy. He is ready to contest an objective if necessary. Jojo leaping in immediately. The fight kicks off. They are not afraid to pull the trigger on the side of EG. Inspired. Now going godlike. No jungler left. Mid laner gone. EG. Once they got control of this game, they have done nothing to give it up. It has been clean play across the board.
Yeah, and really good to see from the North American representatives. Now going to be able to turn over towards the Baron. Hazmet has ult. He has the Shadow Flame, but Vulcan doesn't want to hear any of that.
The CC denying him any access to the pit. Taki and Shogun stepping forward. 2K getting lower. There is no way they steal this one. EG grabbing the Baron, moving their gold lead up to about 6K. 3 Dragons backing them up as well. Red Bull Baron power play might just be the end of this game.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, when you got as far ahead as you are, Impact stops huge Vulcan.
Shogun locked up. Instant follow from Danny. This is why we see the Kaisa so often used against the Ezreal, but luckily Shogun still has the flash. Will do his best to fire back with a bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, when you're able to almost brute force your way underneath these towers, it gets real scary for Saigon Buffalo, right? Like, Impact is able to hop underneath. You got Vulcan who can go for the dives as well. And even if you just catch someone out in rotation, they're completely donezo. So I feel like here, EG, you set Jojo off towards the bot side. The other members just push up mid, and you can always rotate to go join Jojo. But here, I was kind of surprised Saigon Buffalo went as aggressively here as they did. Like, Vulcan again, wonderful engage onto Froggy and J instantly picks them off. But I mean, you're in a close quarters fight against an Alistar, against an Orin ult, against Jojo Pyun with Leona ult. That's just not going to work out well.
No. And again, the second the cage is gone, the trigger is pulled by the side of EG. They know exactly what they need to do on this one. Impact going to be rudely interrupted in the middle of forging an item. Not sure what he'll go towards next, but obviously these are not the two champions that can hurt Impact with all of that magic resist coming in. EG slowly pushing their advantage forward. Actually breaking the base will be difficult. Vigar obviously insane wave clear. But for now, just taking all these tier 2 towers as is to be expected on the first Baron. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It looks like they're going to try to start the fight off. Froggy flashing away from that one. EG just getting the second tower, getting Froggy's flash as well was big because the soul fight is the next major objective once this Baron falls away.
Yeah, and you can see Jojo Pyun just pushing in mid solo. So again, we're getting that kind of split. EG doing a good job of just trying to play between the two waves. And now that Jojo Pyun has kind of done his job here, he's going to go and settle down onto the bot side as well. So EG just playing the map very well here, keeping Saigon Buffalo tucked in their base so they can't actually try and contest things like this Dragon Soul in 2 minutes time.
Very, very hard. Feels like they need to force a pick onto one of the weak sides for Saigon Buffalo. They don't really have any great TP flank boards for the Kennen. Kennen doesn't have flash either, so there just are not a lot of avenues for them to attack at this particular moment. They have to send someone to respond to Jojo, but it feels like they just don't have the resources. Instead, they're going to try to start the fight as Jojo's off to the side. Nocturnal now coming out, but no, the Wukong simply too strong. Stops VJ from getting in. Flash through. Now Hosman trying to respond, but EG, they are too powerful. Jojo Pyun still standing, goes golden. Taki wants to finish the kill here. Froggy off to the side, but the Vanguard just doing nothing. As to watch as it's the 1-for-1 at the end of the day. Jojo taken out of the fight. The tower still stands, so all things considered, not bad for the side of Saigon Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, Danny just talking smack from between the legs of Impact, like looking like a child between Dad's legs. Just kind of going, come at me, like, you can't hit me. Impact's here.
Go. Impact trying to start another fight, too. Froggy gonna get knocked up, gonna get knocked down. Do they have the damage? Danny, no room to follow up at the tower now. Gone. Inspired breaking another tower. Danny trying to finish it off with the Acathian Rain. Impact still going. Inspired posting instead on the inhibitor. Is Impact just such a beefy frontliner? Nobody can break through that health bar. Slowly but surely chipping him down. He'll dash away. The inhibitor, though, still standing. They're going to lose 2 towers on this one. Impact should fall. Vulcan now trying to push away Hosman. Vulcan should drop as well, but Danny now just shifting his attention. Good heads-up play to move in and make sure he can take down that kill.
Yeah, the base of Saigon Buffalo will be cracked open, though. 2 inhibitors now exposed. Taki trying to see if he can find Danny, but when he's not in the bush, Taki will let off. And now 30 seconds till Dragon with Impact will have a CP available. Vulcan will try and make his way as fast as possible, but maybe Saigon Buffalo have a moment of respite to try and contest this Dragon before the members of EG are up. But I mean, here Froggy just takes that step too far. We already talked about how great the dive here is from Evil Geniuses. I mean, Ornn, perfect. Alistair, amazing. Danny able to follow up super well. And I mean, it's more the split decision making here between Inspired trying to finish the inhibitor, Danny, and the rest of the team trying to fight forward that actually causes issues. But I mean, now with no more towers, shouldn't be an issue next time.
And ultimately, EG are so far ahead that it's not like Saigon Buffalo really get a lot of counterplay. They lose 2 towers anyway. The good news is they didn't lose more. But now you're facing down a Mountain Soul. Things go from bad to worse very quickly. There are 2 exposed lanes, 2 exposed inhibitors that can be taken out. Good news is they've got an ultimate from McKinnon. He's only level 14, level 16, still very far away.
They nearly got through Impact Shield there.
There's not a lot of good news. I take it back. There's very little good news. The Ornn items are fully online. The Wukong is very tanky. The Ornn is very tanky. The Alistair is unkillable. Jojo might also be basically unkillable, and Danny does a ton of damage. If you ever make a mistake, that's going to be the engage, forcing out a little bit of defensive CC in the form of the spell shield. But Froggy already down before the fight even starts. Inspired leaping onto the back line, shredding them through. Inspired interrupted on the dash in. Hosman trying to go into the backside. He just does not have the damage in the face of the Mountain Soul. Saigon Buffalo are powerless. EG so far ahead, wiping the floor with Saigon Buffalo as their final push should just end this game.
Yeah, 3-3 now for EG as they will be able to take down the Saigon Buffalo. Just waiting on this wave, and nicely done by the North American representatives, able to take the victory against the VCS.
And I like it. Once they got control, they played clean, they played controlled. They know that even if Saigon Buffalo are 0-5, still have to take your time. Not flawless by any means, but 3-3. That much closer to locking in the 4th seed. That much closer to making it to the bracket stage.
Yeah, and as you said, just very, very clean from EG as well, like getting those early leads and then just being able to run away with it from there. Like we got the quick invade coming through from Inspired off Jojo Pyun's early pressure in the mid lane, and from that it just felt relentless. It just felt like they were never going to get back into it.
Certainly, and I was really expecting the Vanguard to just shut down a lot of fights, and while he did on the bottom side river in that one choke point, the rest of the game just felt like Froggy. There was never a right time to put the cage down. Yeah. He'd put it down, 2 seconds, it would look like, yes, maybe we stopped them from engaging. And then instantly, Ornn ult from across the map. Kais is flying into the back line.
Oh, it was brutal. It was like, where do you even, like, they're coming at you from so many different angles. It's like you don't even have like one spot.
You stand in the cage. You put the cage down, you stand in the cage.
Just tap your heels.
Put yourself in jail. You say,
There's
guys,
no place like home.
It's a tough one. Obviously for Saigon Buffalo, hard tournament. The fact that they're starting their second round robin with another loss is gut-wrenching. Credit to them for still trying to find creative picks, for still trying to find a way back into this game. I was nervous for EG when we saw BJ get away, when we saw Taki almost get away, but again, credit to EG that once they got control, they never let it go.
Yeah, once they had a stern talking to their own minions to not be against them in those moments, they were like, okay, we can